Hey, welcome back. We are in week 7, which means we're going to review week 6, which also means we are halfway through the regular season of GHSA football. Flown by. I'm just glad we got to play this year. So let's jump right into this. A couple of things we want to look at. So this is one of those rules. It's easy to forget in a blowout game when you're not really focusing. But we have a free kick. So we're in a free kick. This is late in the game. And we don't have a clear recovery by R. We have touching. So everyone's eligible to touch it at this point. So because we're beyond 10 yards. It's hit the ground. R attempts to recover. And then K is going to pick it up and jostle into the end zone. So one would think this would be an easy touchdown. But we have to remember, Rule 616 tells us that when K recovers a free kick, it is dead immediately. So, little close-up view. So we can see there is no clear recovery by R. Just kind of batted around. K is going to pick it up and run it in. So like I said, Rule 616 tells us K cannot advance a free kick. So a couple of things to think about on this play, particularly anytime, especially if you're the R, or really not the R, just anyone on the field. If there's a situation where you have an official ruling that K has scored, and we're in a free kick or a scrimmage kick, because in a scrimmage kick, K cannot advance as well. That is Rule 624 is K cannot advance a scrimmage kick. Rule simply says when K recovers a free kick or a scrimmage kick, the ball becomes dead. So anytime you are in a free kick or scrimmage kick and you have officials indicating that K has scored, we need to ask that official, how did K get the ball? And in order for the touchdown to count, there's only one right answer. So if R here were to actually recover this, so we have the recovery, which we still like to apply the same rules for a catch, possession, and control. So if R possesses this ball, they control this ball, and then they fumble it, K then can pick it up and run it in for a touchdown. But that is the only way that K can score on a free kick or a scrimmage kick. If R possesses the ball, they control it, then they fumble it. So in that instance, on a scrimmage kick, we would have two beanbags. We have a beanbag to mark the end of the kick. Then we have a beanbag to mark the spot of the fumble. Free kick, you wouldn't necessarily have that. A free kick, in free kicks, we don't beanbag the spot at the end of the kick, because we have no reason to by rule. So if you are a covering official on this, so we had the beanbag on the ground, so that tells us, okay, we got a fumble. So if we just go by what we are given in this film, by the official's reaction, then this would actually be a correct call, because the beanbag indicates to us we have a fumble, therefore K can advance. So it will be hard to sell to this coach that K didn't actually score. But looking at practicality, this is not a fumble and recovery. This is just R kind of bat the ball around. They don't make a clear recovery. So the kick is still going. Remember, a kick is a kick is a kick. So this is still a kick. We're still a kick. Still a kick. Ball should be dead now, because R has picked up and possessed it. Now that R has possessed it and controlled it, now the play is over. Ball's dead. K keeps the ball. They just don't keep the 6 points. So again, this is it's one of those. It's a simple rule, but it's one we forget a lot. Even in the spur of the moment. When we're officials, we react to what the play that's going on in the field. That's just how we are. So a play like this happens, and it's easy not to kind of think to yourself, wait, I don't think this is right. It's just anytime, to me, the easiest way to think about it is just anytime K scores on a free kick or a scrimmage kick, we need to ask ourselves, how did K get the ball? And there's only one right answer in order for the kick, for the score to uphold. Like I said, K gets to keep the ball. They recovered it. It's their ball. The ball is just dead where it lay. Speaking of kicks that can't be advanced. Oh, and while we're talking about this, let me just we'll talk about this. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but since we're talking about this rule, I just want to clarify it in case someone gets confused. If you have a scrimmage kick, so it can be a punt or like this is a PAT, so it would not apply to this. But if you have a kick that is blocked behind the line of scrimmage, K can advance that. So in this instance, ball's blocked behind the line of scrimmage. So if this were a normal scoring kick, a scrimmage scoring kick, K can pick this up and advance it. But this is a PAT. PAT, when you have a block like this, once R recovers, then it's over. The try is over. This isn't college and high school. They cannot take this all the way back to the house. You just kill it immediately. When you kill it when it's over. So right here when R recovers it, now we can kill it. Same situation here. This is a PAT, as you can tell from the swing gate. Block behind the line of scrimmage. It's over. So we don't run those back. You can't run those back in high school. College, you can run those back all day. It's a fun time. High school, you can't do it. And also, a scrimmage kick behind the line of scrimmage, block behind the line of scrimmage, K can advance if it is blocked behind the neutral zone, behind the line of scrimmage. All right. Enough of that. So I want to talk about these for a minute because we haven't talked a whole lot about DPI the past couple of years in camps because we've been focused on the mechanics. So we kind of let DPI go by the wayside. But I do want to talk about these. These are the categories of DPI. These are not in the rule book. This is just something that's kind of developed over time. It may be in the manual. I can't remember for sure. If it's not this year, we're definitely going to put it in next year. But there used to be 7 categories of DPI. We now have 6 because face guarding was eliminated by rule. So it used to be PF Chang. Now it's just P Chang, the great Chinese restaurant. So they are playing through the back, cut off, hook and turn, arm bar, not playing the ball, and grabbing the arm. One thing you will notice that is absent from this category that you see a lot is early contact. The reason I put early contact on here is because it's just, I think a lot of times officials use it as kind of just this broad term that they can just apply to any marginal contact. Oh, those early contact. But if you think about it, all real DPI that are quote unquote early contact, they play into one of these categories. It could be playing through the back because you came through the back too early. It could be not playing the ball. That's really the most egregious one because you're trying to make a play on the ball. They went through the receiver to do it. And they did it too early. Same thing with grabbing the arm. They did it too early. Hook and turn, it's just early. So all of this can fall into early contact. That's why you see early contact a lot in the category. I took it out of here because, like I said, I think a lot of officials just use it as such a broad term. Now, certainly if they make early contact, it's a foul. But I think 9 times out of 10, early contact falls into one of these categories. So I don't want us to use early contact as just this broad term, kind of like a scapegoat term. so we can justify a DPI call. So anytime you have DPI, if you cannot put it into one of these categories, then we don't need to call the foul. One thing that is not you'll see, and in fact it is explicitly addressed in Rule 7511, that it's not DPI if you have unavoidable contact. So if their feet get tangled up, they're running a route, or you have two players who have the right to the ball, or running toward the ball, and they kind of come to the same spot at the same time, collide, that is not DPI. Those are not good for officials because everyone sees these players fall down before the ball gets there. Everyone wants a DPI call. It's just not supported by rule. In fact, it's not only not supported by rule, like I said, 7511 explicitly forbids us to call it. Unavoidable contact is not DPI. So like I said, when I play this clip, I'm not saying that this is not DPI. There's stuff going on. I don't know what's going on. But I play this because I want us, it's a good example of, can you put this in a category? Can you put this in a category of DPI and easily put it in a category of DPI without saying the words early contact? And there's something that I think the only thing I could really see is when he swipes down like that, if he contacted his arm, then you would have DPI. And I can't see that on video. The official, he's in great position to make this call. He's stationary. He's got a good distance back. So he's in a great position to make this call. So I'm not going to question that. That's the only thing I go see here. Maybe when he swipes down, he makes contact with the arm. So you would have grabbing the arm. Like I said, I just showed this as an example of, if we cannot easily put a foul in one of these categories, then we don't throw DPI. Same thing with holding. There's categories of holding. If you cannot easily put the hold into one of those categories, then don't throw the foul. All right, this is from Miami. Well, you might have seen this on the Twitter. Just want to talk about it. It was like somewhat controversial, but not really. I think it's just controversial because it's one of those weird plays. Some people may not quite understand, but let's break this down. So we have an interception in the end zone by B, and it is in the end zone. So momentum's off the table. He's not in the field of play going to the end zone. He is in the end zone, intercepts the pass. Now he's going to run it out. While he runs it out, he drops the ball in the end zone. Literally drops the ball in the end zone. And then A recovers it. This is a touchdown. There's no other way that no other way you can adjudicate this. This is a touchdown. Why? Pretty simple. And whether or not, like I said, momentum's off the table because this is in the end zone. So he catches it in the end zone. He is voluntarily attempting to run out of the end zone. He is not attempting to down it. There's nothing indicating that he is trying to down this. By all indications, to us as officials, he's attempting to run this out of the end zone. And I think that's kind of where the confusion is. People were saying, well, he had given it up. He dropped the ball voluntarily because the game clock had expired. So he was celebrating running out of the end zone. But that's not what appears to us as officials. As officials, we have to adjudicate based on what is happening, not on what we are going to assume that the player is trying to do. So to us, this is just a player intercepts the ball in the end zone, attempting to run out. While he's running out, he fumbles. As you can see, he drops the ball right there. And then A jumps on it and recovers. So this is a classic ABA situation. A winds up with the ball in the end zone. Therefore, we have a touchdown. So once you break it down like that, not as controversial as people on Twitter would have you believe. It is a kooky play. Like I said, we have to adjudicate based on actions on the field. And, to me, this player, he made no attempt to down it in the end zone. He was just celebrating, voluntarily drops the ball. A recovers, and they get the miracle finish that they wanted. All right, that is it for this week. Again, we are halfway through the season. That means region play for a lot of us is starting. More important now to keep our focus than ever. A lot of us are having undefeated teams this week. You got teams who are 5-0, 6-0, whatever, and someone's got to lose at 0. So stay focused, stay safe. Remember to like and subscribe this if you liked it. If you didn't like it, other button works too. And we encourage comments that are, push forward good discussion. All right. Thank you.